The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, time for a fact that makes your brain go. Now, we're talking about the average salary of Americans, of the average U.S. worker, and we'll do Illinois as well. Now, it's interesting because some texters have chimed in here on this story. It says the median annual wage for all U.S. workers, median and average are different. I've tried to figure out, and maybe Case, since he's the most recent in college, can help explain the difference, Case.
No, I can't.
Oh.
No, I went to Columbia College Chicago. We don't talk about medians.
Oh. So median, maybe a listener can, because I've read the definition. I still don't understand the difference between median and average.
What does it say?
So,
what's the definition say?
Median says denoting or relating to a value or quantity lying in the midpoint of a frequency distribution of observed values or quantities, such that there is an equal probability of falling above or below it. Like they use an example. The median duration of this treatment was about 4 months. Let's say you did a surgery procedure, okay? So I'm trying to wrap my head. I do this for a living.
What's the definition of the average?
That's what I don't know the difference.
What does it say? What does it say?
It does. Let's see. Median. Before I give you these numbers, because I want people to understand exactly. Okay, the average is calculated by adding up all of the individual values and dividing this number of observations, like how many people, you know what I mean? Like a total number of salaries divided by what? The median is calculated by taking the middle value, the value of which half of the observations are larger and half are smaller. You get it?
So maybe it just does it not calculate like outliers? Like, okay, there's a billionaire. Like, does it not like throw that in there?
I don't know.
Skews average? Is that what that means?
I'm not trying to delay the fact. I want to make sure we get it exactly right before we do it. And if someone can explain this, maybe we could do
Elon
that.
Elon Musk, they're not going to throw in the, you know what I mean? They're going to throw his salary in.
I don't think that's the case. I think they throw in everybody. Now, 3-band Zach says he can explain the difference. Remember Zach who played those 3 bands? And where was the last one? Over off Belmont you played your show, right, Zach?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't play on Belmont. I played at, Montrose Saloon.
Montrose Saloon. That's right. Montrose Saloon, my favorite. Good job.
Yeah.
What was the name of that band again?
Which one? There are 3 of them.
Well, whatever. Well, let's focus on the task at hand.
Yes.
Explain the difference that I can understand between median and average.
Okay, so average, you take everybody who gets a paycheck in Illinois, you add their salaries together, and then you divide by the number of those people. So you get 1,000 people. The average is the sum total of their salary divided by 1,000. That's the average.
That's what I understand for average.
Cool. Median is you take the highest salary and the lowest salary. The median is the number that is in the middle, period.
So between the highest salary, that could be a billionaire or someone that makes $10,000 a year, it's in the middle. It's exactly in the middle.
Yeah, and it's important because average, it implies that there's like an equal distribution around that number. And median, you could still have, way more people at the bottom end and like one guy at the top end.
Got it. I understand it. Good job. You're a teacher, right?
Yeah, man.
Thank you. You explained it better than Google or my teachers in high school. You did.
That's why you can't let kids Google. You still need teachers.
That's right, damn it. Did you understand the case now?
I was on the phone. I didn't hear any of it.
He's in school
Listen to the podcast.
Yeah, listen to the
I'll go listen to
podcast.
the podcast. Thank you, Zach.
Okay, now I understand it. So thank you very much. That's really good, Zach. I appreciate that.
Respect. You guys are awesome.
Also, is your band playing anywhere this week? Any one of the bands?
Nah, man. We're just practicing. We're all good.
Oh, good.
No shows.
Hey, practice makes perfect.
All right, you guys rock. Have a good one. I got to go to work.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, so now I understand it better before I gave you this number. Because Kenzie said like 200,000. She thought maybe the average salary would be because there's billionaires at the top. And this explains why maybe you went too far on that number, right? Like you went too high because it doesn't matter.
Was I too high?
You were way too high.
What
and
is it?
Case said 70-something. I don't know, 73,000, something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
said Caitlin Clark's salary.
So the median annual wage for all U.S. workers, and let's just do Illinois, was $48,730.
God, I just don't believe that.
$48,000. Now, again,
This place is so expensive to live here.
I know. And to his
So expensive to live here.
So to Zach's point that it could be, there's obviously billionaires that live here, but there could be a whole bunch of people more in the bottom end. That's just the middle. That's right there in the middle, but 48,000. And it does seem, now you got to also look at Maybe
Well,
all
like,
the
think about how many people in Illinois are millionaires. So I just thought.
right. Average. If it was average, it would be higher, I think. If it was the average salary. I don't think it'd be 200,000, but it'd be probably a little more.
It's just the number in the middle.
Yeah, it's just the
So
number in the
you-
middle. But it still says a lot about people should be making more, right?
You think?
Yeah.
I always say this. I don't understand how everything's gone up in price except how much I cost to work somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah. Well, it's like incomes have not kept up with inflation without question.
No.
And it was already bad before this inflation run, and now it's obviously debilitating to some people. That's why we have $1 trillion in debt. Just open up a new credit card. Keep going. I gotta eat, you know?
How many credit cards do you have?
Actually, I've trimmed them down. I used to have too many, and that's
How many did you used to have?
7. I think 7 or 8.
You had
Jeez.
7 credit cards?
How
Yeah.
big was your wallet? I don't have 7 little slots.
Costanza. I had 2 wallets. I had a burner wallet.
You had a burner wallet.
I did have another wallet that I kept cards in. Like,
Were you like, I'm going to pay this wallet off first, and then I'll get to this wallet?
oh, they did. None of them got paid off.
What do you do?
I mean, you just kind of keep
You and
shuffling them.
Oberweis both claimed bankruptcy?
That's right. I never claimed bankruptcy, but I got some real trouble at one point. Like, for example, I had a Discover card, and I didn't use that every day, so that went in the burner wallet. I didn't carry the Discover card around all the time.
I never understood, like, having a bunch of credit cards. What's the benefit?
Well, before all the point total stuff happened, it was just I needed more money. So, like, you need another card with more limit, and they give it to you, so you go, cool.
Usually, if you call, like, who runs the credit card, they'll increase your limit because they want you to be in debt with them. They love it.
Of course, they're worse than bookies. Their interest rate is way worse than the mob on the street.
So, like, you could have just, but that's my point is usually, no matter what, they'll, like, increase your credit for a little, like, to an extent.
Yeah,
That,
but it
like,
was-
can I put a house on this?
But it was fun getting a new card with new colors and stuff and everything.
geez.
Brian, why did you need all those credit cards? What were you buying? Because you don't have any land and you don't have any, like, high-priced art.
Well-
you have nothing.
Well, if you
You wear the same shirt every day.
yeah, well, I don't understand what you were buying.
well, if you've heard the show before, I used to have some land. And I had to kind of start over, and it's really gone now, that land.
Hey, there's no shame in renting.
No, you know, I'll be renting for a while.
You're like the only person that was doing better in their 20s than they are. Like, now what happened?
That's a lesson to the
You're
kids
supposed
out
to
there.
gradually increase.
Yeah, that's a lesson to the kids out there, man. Put some money away instead of just living for
Instead of
today.
investing. That's
Well,
your advice.
how many credit cards you got? Just one?
I have one under my name, and then there's one like family one for me and my husband.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
When you said one under your name, the other one sounded like really shady. What was coming next? One's under.
One's my alias.
Yeah.
One's under your name. That's the one I don't pay back.
Exactly, yeah.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're talking some money here. At $48,070 is the median income in Illinois and Chicago. We're still getting different definitions of median.
People are saying that the guy was wrong.
That Zach was wrong?
Yeah.
Huh.
Also, Zach yelled at us on the text line and then called in, which was nice, which was interesting. Zach was
Zach's
like,
good.
this is irresponsible journalism and da-da-da-da. And then he calls in and was like, love you guys.
Well, he's a good guy. He's fine.
This is interesting.
I don't.
Must be a Gemini.
Well, it's just hard to understand exactly median and average, and everybody thinks it's like people say like, "Oh, you guys are idiots," and then
I have to be honest, not a single person has agreed. And that we have like 400 texts and everyone's like, that's wrong, this is right, that's wrong, this is right. Everyone's arguing.
I just wish they would have just gave the average. It would have been easier. Then they used the word median, and that's what the story said. So I wanted to read the median.
I feel like I prefer median over average because median sounds like it doesn't take any math. You just look for the number in the middle. That's like my ideal
I still don't
problem.
know. I don't-
Circle what's in the middle.
I
Perfect.
don't know it, and I'm sure people out there going in their cars going like, "You guys are idiots." And I'm like, I just don't know. This is
And by the way, you may be sitting in your car thinking we're stupid, but you may also be wrong because no one's agreeing right now.
I'm okay with saying I'm stupid on this because I don't understand it. I can't do it. This is why I couldn't do math in high school. I just was.
Median is the midpoint. So
Right.
you're looking at all these numbers.
And now people are
It's, like,
backing up
right
Zach.
in the middle.
Yeah, people are backing up Zach now, saying
And
who's
then
correct.
the average is like that's when you're like that's when you're calculating stuff.
Average is easy. You can just add up everything and divide it by the
like
number.
if it's like okay, so if there's 3 numbers and it's like whatever, I mean 5, 6, 7, then 6 is the median. It's just in the middle. Doesn't matter.
I love 219 checking in. Everyone's poor. That's the correct answer. Okay, who's back on the line here now to talk
Except
about
Brian.
this? I don't know. I'm with everybody else. I can't buy a house. Adam, second in here from South Elgin, Kenzie's territory. What's up, man?
What happened?
All right, guys. Median is kind of really easy. You take all the numbers in the data, You put them in order, and then you find the middle of that data.
Okay, how's that different than average?
Because average, you add them all up and then divide by the total, whereas median is the number that is in the middle. So if you have 51 points of data, you're throwing out all like the top part and the bottom part, and it's just the one that's in the middle.
Right. Do you ever feel like we have too many words? Like, why couldn't the math teacher be like, hey, find the number in the middle?
But I still don't get it.
We needed to name that.
Like I still, this is why I'm dumb with. I was, not a great student. I mean, I was good in some things, but not in math. I still don't understand finding
it's just
the middle.
The number in the middle.
So Brian, if you just make it easy and you go like numbers like 1 through 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Thank you for counting all the way
You
up.
find the middle of that. So you throw 1 out, you throw 11 out, you throw 2 out, you throw 10 out. 3, 9, and then it's the one that's actually in the very middle of it.
So isn't that
Just
5.5?
circle in the middle. If there's 3 numbers, it's the second number.
No, but if it's 1 to 11, then isn't it 5.5 in the middle?
No, that's not how it works. You actually cross off the numbers as you have them.
You just cross it off.
The one
You just
that's in the middle.
it. You take a pencil. It has to be done with a pencil in case you mess up. And
Wait, so
you
that
just cross it off.
Okay, so let's do 1 to 11. What's the middle number?
Can we pick a shorter amount of numbers?
It would be 6.
It'd be 6? Okay. I still don't get it.
Brian, do you feel like you're breaking out in hives? Like you're nervous at like a freshman in high school right now? You look so
Brian, it'd be
physically
really easy.
uncomfortable.
Just write it all down and cross them off.
So what did they
cross
do?
them off.
So what did they do with those salaries? Like, let's say someone was a billionaire, and then there was a bunch of people making $20,000, $30,000. Somebody went through
you
there.
put it in order and then just keep
Brian,
crossing
those
it
are
off.
called outliers. The highest numbers and the lowest numbers are like outliers.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
by median, you're kind of trying to throw those out and find the middle of more of like what normal people would make.
You just cross it off like you did the other numbers. 11 crossed off. A billion crossed off.
Why
Cross it off.
do we get rid of those people?
We're that's finding
Because
the
they're
number.
outliers. They're out of the majority of the set of data.
Huh.
Okay.
I mean, you
Honestly,
explaining it great, bud. This is why I think I had ADD and a learning disability.
I agree.
You know, Brian, if we were in person, I could do it really easy.
Yeah. Why don't you come
I
on
used
down?
to teach math, so that's why.
well, now it sounds like a sex line.
Okay, so I understand what you said. I figure how do they, like $48,070 is what Illinois people, that's the median income is $48,000. So they went through, let's say the state, I think, has 20 million people, something like that. They went through all
Somebody
that.
was just doing little X's all day.
Yeah, they went in that and then came out
I
with
want that
48,000
job.
in the middle. That's what they did then, bud?
Yeah, they have computer algorithms that do it for them. Yeah, so they're not doing it by hand.
Okay.
They have the computer do it for them.
I just imagine somebody all day, like Game of Thrones on in the background, just like XX,
Yep.
XX,
Take out this-
XX.
Hey, man, thanks, Adam. I do understand it better because of what you said.
All right.
I'm not sure
You
I
have a
understand
great
it.
day.
You too, buddy. I'm not sure I completely understand it. But Ellen's checking in from South Elgin. Another Elgin coming in here. What's up, Ellen?
Okay, I have the perfect example to explain median
Okay.
that everybody will get. All right, if you have 3 numbers, 1, 11, and 13. If you wanted the average, that would be 12.5. But for the median, it's 11 because it's the middle
It's
number.
the number in the middle.
You know what's meaning?
Brian, I'm going to go home soon. I swear to God.
You know what? You don't understand it
swear
either.
To God.
You don't understand
Yes,
it either.
I do.
No, you don't. You think you do, but you don't.
Okay, don't try to make me as dumb as you.
Now, listen, I'm being honest. I'm the only one vulnerable here. I'm just being honest about what I don't get and what I don't
No,
get.
it's getting. Please stop being honest. I want you to lie and I want you to move on.
Yeah.
Lie.
Ellen,
For
what
the
don't you
love of
understand
God.
about what Ellen said?
I understand what Ellen said.
Okay.
And I understand what before her.
Adam
said too.
Jeez. Oh my God.
But I think if I had to do like a
Adam
test.
was our median caller because
Yeah.
he called in the middle.
That's right.
You see?
Ellen, thank you for helping me out. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I know. Everybody always wants to be all smart and everything. I'm just trying to be honest here, and so I
No,
don't really
thank you for being
understand it.
vulnerable, Brian.
Everybody
I
else is so
appreciate it.
smart out there.
I think you need to figure this out now on your own personal time.
I am. We're
from
done
here
with
on
it.
out.
We're done with it. We got a lot of stuff coming up here. I
Oh
wanted to figure it out and be right.
We're going to find the
you know,
circumference after this?
Maybe.
Jeez.
Maybe we
Kenzie,
will.
can Brian do your 9-year-old's math homework tonight?
Oh my God. Some of it's tricky.
Yeah.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and 81% of Americans and Chicagoans have said that they would have liked to have an adulting crash course at some point in high school about what life's going to be like, the surprising nature of certain things. And this leads to something that Case asked me yesterday. Kenzie, you had just walked out, and Case said to me, I want to ask you a question, and don't make fun of me. And
Oh, that's always a good start.
I know. I was like, where's...
Like, zero promises.
Well, think about all the questions I ask, and I had to preface this with, please don't make fun of me. Normally, I'm
You just
free
go
game.
for it. You just go for it.
I just dive right in.
What'd you do?
Well, when he prefaced it with that, that's how I knew, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, he usually just splurts it out. And just for their listeners that might just join us and not know, Case is 25 years old. That's a grown-ass man. No more messing around when you're a quarter century old.
That's right. That's what your father said after he threw away your participation trophy in basketball.
Right. That's exactly what he did.
He told him he was a grown-ass man when he was like 5.
Hey, stop your crying.
Get up and work.
Yeah. There's a coal mine down the street. Why aren't you working in it?
I
No one wants
love
to
your
work these
dad.
days.
I love him.
Oh, pay some rent, man. So 81% of people would rather probably have that. Kenzie was telling me during the song that she had an online gym class in high school.
So did I. Oh,
Wait, what?
It screwed me over. I'm sorry. I almost didn't get to graduate, and I had great grades. I almost didn't get to graduate because of online gym. I thought this is the best idea I've ever had. I don't know about you, Case. Wow, was online gym super hard?
Was it because you had to take quizzes about like nutrition and stuff
We
like
had to
that?
write essays and papers. We had to write so many essays and so many papers. And I don't know if you had this, but you had to wear a heart monitor.
Oh, I did not have that.
And so you had to have your heartbeat had to be above a certain amount for a certain amount of time. And I swear to God, this is going to sound so bad, but I had a friend, and admittedly, she's a big girl, and she's like, I want nothing to do with gym class. So she signed up with me.
Yeah.
And when she found out about the heart monitor nonsense, she made me wear her heart bands. I had to wear 2.
Oh, that's great.
And then I was like, well, you better write some of these papers then, because I'm wearing your heart monitor, right? And so I did that. And then the bitch just copy and pasted her article, and I got in trouble for cheating.
How'd they catch the double heart monitor? Because it was exactly the
I
same?
go, well, check the heart rate. She's cheating too. It's verbatim. It just pissed me off. And then another kid in our class got in trouble because they put it on a hamster, but they could tell that it went like way too high, that it wasn't a human. It was a mistake. I literally was like, I'm not going to get to graduate because of this.
They called 911. Her heart rate is 280.
Yeah,
Someone get over
4.5
there.
hours.
She must be running on a wheel or something. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah, no, it was a bad call. Bad call.
Oh, no, I didn't have to wear a heart monitor. Everybody in my school took online gym because it meant they didn't have to swim. Because if you took gym in person, you had to swim.
And it's horrible in the middle of the day or like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And I have long hair. What am I supposed to do this?
well, more importantly for the boys is a lot of them don't want to change in the locker room with other guys.
This is true. So I cannot swim. So I would change it with as much privacy as humanly possible
Yeah.
because I didn't like that. But it wasn't the changing; it was the showering after. So
Sure.
I would hop in the pool, float for a little bit because I couldn't do any laps. I was in like the lowest grade of the swim group. And
Wait,
then
floating got you probably passed in gym
floating
class?
would pass. You just couldn't drown. If you drowned, you failed.
Well,
that's the policy.
that's fair.
And then I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you didn't do good at swimming. So
And then I just wouldn't shower, even though I had gym second period. So I'd have 5 more periods
Oh,
where I just smelled
God.
like
You didn't
chlorine.
shower at
No,
all?
because I didn't want to be naked next to people that I've
couldn't
known
you
my
wear
entire
like a
life.
little swimsuit?
I mean, I wore a swimsuit, not like a little one.
You may not know this, Kenzie, but guys at a certain age, in that puberty time, some of them just don't want to get naked with other guys in the shower.
You
Can
might
I
not know
ask a
that.
question? Can I have a real question on this?
Yeah.
It's just, like,
Oh,
don't judge
geez.
me.
Well, first off, Case had me asked a real question. I'm curious what your real
Yeah,
question
no, you go
is.
first, Kenzie.
Is it because you're nervous that you'll get a boner and then everyone will make fun of you? Because you is it like the opposite? Like, you know, when you overthink something, like, please don't let this happen, please don't let this happen. Like,
Yeah.
when someone's telling you something bad and you're
Yeah.
like, don't laugh because you're so uncomfortable. Are you so nervous about getting a boner, even though you don't want to get one? Like, but then it happens because you keep thinking about it?
I can only speak for myself
Yes.
in the situation. I was just more concerned because I was a chubby kid, you know? I was a thick boy back in the day. Yeah, I was.
Chubbies?
Yeah, I was a little chubby.
Did you swim with a shirt on?
I did. Yeah. Until I got tall. So I was more concerned with the way the rolls looked as the shed on
Why
top.
do you care about impressing like other guys? It's not like girls were in the shower with you. I could see why that would stress you out.
It's because when you're 13 or 14, all your hormones are going, and you want to look like other guys. And I didn't look like the other guys. They were jacked. I don't know why. I don't know why.
You go to school with Jack Junior High School.
I don't know why these grade school kids were taking steroids in my grade school, but these kids.
I felt like you, Brian, because I developed early, if you will, and so everyone just like. They were like,
stared.
but they were like, okay, how do I word this without being really uncomfortable?
We got time. Think about it.
I'm not going to think about this. So I feel like when you develop early, like in like 7th grade, instead of it being like hot, they just think you look big, if that makes sense. Like you look like a big person.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I don't get to shop at Abercrombie because they're like junior sizes. I never, ever got to wear junior sizes. I went to women's sizes, even numbers, immediately.
That's a big miss on your youth.
Sucked. It really sucked. I'm like, I'm at Gap and everyone's at Abercrombie. It was a bummer. Okay. Not fun. So everyone, I felt like, thought that I was like a big person. Like they made fun of me.
Sure.
For being developed in areas.
Kids are mean.
Like I wanted to like tape things down.
Yeah.
Like, because I was being made fun of.
And I wanted to tape my gut down. Like boys are mean when you're like.
Tape something.
I know. Maybe other guys could think that way, but that wasn't my issue. I was just more ashamed of my body.
You fear yourself into a boner.
No, but now I'm like afraid of that now. Like I'm nervous about this conversation.
I'm serious.
Are you afraid of getting one right now in the room?
I'm getting one right now.
Don't
You've
let
gotten
him.
one in here a million times.
Probably, but. I was afraid because you got to remember, especially after swimming, you're talking about shrinkage. So I was afraid of looking small in the shower next to like the popular kids.
Do you guys compare when you get in there?
I'm sorry, I was reading a text here for a second. We're talking about both.
Swing around like they were looking.
Yeah, well, it's uncontrollable too. Like for example, 312 texted in and said, "At that age, Kenzie, you're going to get a boner in the shower. You don't have a choice."
Yeah, that's true.
And that's my question.
Yeah,
that's my question.
Yeah,
is it like? This is going to be so uncomfortable, but like I'm not in charge of my body. Like that's what I meant.
Yeah, I was just so more concerned about the.
I haven't had one.
Well,
and I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
I was more concerned because like boys are mean and they're going to make fun of your body. That's why I was just upset with that.
Yeah, nothing about it was comfortable. I hate my body now. Imagine what I was like as a teenager. I had even less confidence.
Huh.
So we got on that side conversation talking about a class, like 81% of Chicagoans would want some adulting class. They wish they had one in high school going forward as an adult to learn something about what it's really like. Maybe they could have got little online gym classes or real gym class. I don't know.
All on adulting classes, I guess.
Yeah. And this leads to what Case asked me yesterday after the show when Kenzie had walked away. I guess I'm telling you this now. So Case came to me. I had this real question. Will you promise not to make fun of me? And I said, no. I will not. I just go ahead.
We never make that promise here, ever.
Go and let it rip.
Because I'm not a liar.
Yeah. So he asked
I'm
me.
just mean.
Say what you want about Kenzie. She's not a liar.
I don't lie.
He asked me, is it possible to take $500 cash to the bank and put it in the account?
And before anybody...
Well, they shoot you.
Yes.
You show up with cash.
Before anybody wants to make fun of me for that, think about the last time you would have been in that situation where you had a large amount of cash that you had to deposit at a bank.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Where did you get a large amount of cash?
Good question.
Well, okay, sad story about why I had $500. My dog was attacked last week, and the owner of the dogs has agreed to pay our vet bills, but he is a dumb guy, so he's like, "Oh, I'll Zelle you the money." I said, "Great, here's my Zelle account," and then he didn't pay me for 3 days.
I think that's smart, not dumb. He's trying not to pay.
Yeah. So
You mean he's a con artist?
I called him Sunday morning, livid, like 10 out of 10 livid, and was like, "Where's my money?" He's like, "Well, my Zelle account's shut off," and I go, "Okay, so what are we gonna do?" And then he paid me cash, so I had $500 I had to deposit yesterday.
So he said, "Can I take cash to the bank?" And I said, there's actually a limit you got to be careful of. If you take a certain amount of cash to the bank, they have to report it. The bank does. And I thought it was $600. But
Did report $600?
if you take cash in, or even a check, it's actually $10,000.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
You report it. You know the police are a little busy right now. Someone just brought money to the bank. Someone tried to pull money in their account.
Well, they're not calling the cops, but they're calling the IRS or whatever.
Uncle
They're-
Sam?
Yeah, they're reporting it that it's taxable income, and I thought it was 600, and that was the limit. But it's
Case,
10,000.
you're not allowed, you can only bring it to the strip club. It's super unfortunate, and we're working on it.
My thought was, I was like, how do I get this in my DraftKings account? I can double this if I just make the right bet. I just need to deposit it somewhere.
If your poor dog's bills,
I know.
you're gonna make him an honest dog. Make him good on his debt.
See, what you should do is just keep the cash and spend it as like you would spend on a credit card or a debit card or whatever. Just use it in real time, if you will. Use money as what it's supposed to be used as.
Second question. Second question is, there's no way the bet bills were exactly $500. So did you round up?
It was $555.
So you rounded it down?
No. I just $500 was a baseline. I didn't want to tell Brian the exact amount of money I had.
Oh, so you got $555.
Yes.
So, but there's no way that was the exact amount. Did you round up or down?
No, it really was
To the coin?
It was $555 on the dot.
I'm a rounder upper. I call it interest. If you owe me money and it's like 87 cents, I'm like, boop, it's $1.
So you did that successfully then?
Well, kind of.
Oh, boy.
I had an issue at the ATM. So I waited in line first. I was like, this is a human-to-human interaction. I want to have a moment with somebody where we work through this problem together.
Right.
There's a line at PNC.
Yep.
And the guy at the front of the line, they kept on asking him about different papers, and he had none of them. He's like,
boy.
I don't have anything that I need, but please help me. I waited in line for 10 minutes. I said, I'm finally going to bail. I go to the ATM that's in the store. I see, oh, you can do this. Let me hit the buttons that will take me through this process. This is awesome. And then I got to the screen where I thought I was ready to deposit the money, and I was jabbing the money with the machine. I was like looking at every slot and every hole in the ATM going,
Did you
please.
get deja vu?
Because
From when you lost your virginity. Sorry. That's all I imagine.
Putting a $100 bill
He's
is
just like
resembling
poking
it.
around. Where does this go? Belly button?
yeah, well, let's see here. So I just couldn't figure out where to put the money. Luckily, and this is why God is real, a man walked to the second ATM and was putting cash in the ATM. He was depositing money as well.
Sure.
And so I did the Brian at Riot Fest when you were walking Kenzie to her car, and I went, pardon me?
Yep.
I have a question for you, good sir. He did not want to.
Was he an 80-year-old man or no?
He was.
Yeah.
I swear to God, he was so old.
Yeah.
He was so old, I thought he was going to die at the ATM.
So mean.
No, he was a nice guy. But he was very uncomfortable by somebody talking to him at an ATM. I didn't know if he thought,
not
you know.
great etiquette.
I know.
Urinal and ATM.
The two places, yes, exactly.
Well,
You
it's
don't
also
talk to your neighbors
Chicago
there.
where, you go to you got to look over your back.
80. He's like, I'm going to
Yeah.
die now. That sucks.
You definitely need a spotter if you're going to the ATM these days. You need someone watching your back when you're going in there.
You're right. So I was his spotter, he was mine. We were guardian angels with each other. I said, sir, I can't figure out where to put this money.
Yeah.
And he looked at my screen, and then he looked at me, and he said, well, you need to hit OK, and then everything will happen. I was one screen away from it. And then once I hit OK, it took my money, no problem. I deposited the money, went to Subway, the restaurant, had myself a dandy afternoon.
Oh, wow. Perfect. That was supposed to go to a vet bill, by the way, that money, not to go to Subway for your fat ass.
So bad. Could you imagine Case taking out the entire $555 at Subway and then getting like jumped on the way out?
It's amazing. You put the money in, and like 2 minutes later, half of it was gone. Give me 70 cookies because I got $500 in the
I
bank.
have money to blow, baby.
Wow. It's a true adulting question. And we're asking you that same question at 312-591-8300. What was that question when you became an adult, like Case here, not knowing you could put the cash in the bank account? What was that for you at 312-591-8300? Tim checked in. I had $15,000 from a gambling trip. I deposited in increments because I didn't want to be taxed on the money.
Smart man.
Like once they just put it in here and here. There must be some kind of loophole on that they can catch you with that too. I mean, unless you do it months apart, I don't know.
I don't know. You should always be trying to get ahead on your taxes and winning against the system. I
That's
root
right.
for Tim there.
Well, check in here at 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.